Everybody, this is Mrs. G with multiplying polynomials in Unit 4. As you can see, we have 2x plus 3 and multiplied by this longish polynomial with x to the third plus 4x squared plus 6x plus 3. So we're going to do it one way, and the first way I'm going to show you is with the boxes. So here comes our boxes. And as you can see, this is a box that is 4 by 2. 4 because the longest polynomial has 4 terms, and they are x to the third plus 4x squared plus 6x plus 3. Please note how I'm keeping a very tight control on the signs. So the signs goes with each term. Positive x to the third, positive 4x squared, positive 6x, positive 3. And then over here, I have 2x and a positive 3. So let's begin. In this box, I'm going to multiply positive 2x and an x to the third. When I multiply those two, I'm going to get 2x to the fourth. Okay, we move to the next box. This is going to be 2x times 4x squared, and I'm going to multiply the two numbers and get 8x to the third. Remember, we're multiplying, so we multiply the coefficients and we add the exponents. So x times x to the second in this box gives us x to the third. Let's move to the next box. We're going to multiply 2x and 6x. That's going to give us 12x to the second. And finally, on this top row, we have 2x times 3, and that's going to give us a 6x. We are completely finished with the first row, so we move on to the second row. In this row, we're going to multiply everything on the top with 3. So 3 times x to the third gives me 3x to the third. 3 times 4x to the second gives me 12x to the second. 3 times 6x gives me 18x. And 3 times 3 gives me 9. So now we're going to combine the boxes where the terms are alike. 2x4, as you can see, has no other match. Therefore, 2x4 becomes the leading term. Next, we add the x to the thirds. The 8x to the third combines with 3x to the third and becomes 11x to the third. You move on. 12x to the second plus 12x to the second combines and becomes 24x to the second. 6x plus 18x gives us a 24x. And finally, 9 plus 9. There you have it. This is the final product of these two polynomials. Now, let's do it a different way. This is just like regular multiplication. I'm going to write the long polynomial at the top, which is x to the third 4x squared plus 6x plus 3. Multiply that by 2x plus 3. Just like in regular multiplication, I'm going to first multiply everything on the top with 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 6x is 18x. 3 times 4x squared is 12x squared. 3 times x to the third is 3x to the third. Notice here that we have no missing terms. We have x to the third, x second, x, and 9. Okay? Had we had some missing terms, you may have to leave some space to accommodate the next row. But as it is, everything, we have no missing terms. So let's go. Multiply the top by 2x. 2x times 3 is 6x. 2x times 6x gives us 12x squared. 2x times 4x squared is 8x to the cubed. Because remember, 4 times 2 is 8. X times x squared is x to the third. Okay? 2x times 2x times x to the third is going to give us 2x to the fourth. Okay? It's time to combine all the alike terms. 2x4 comes down. 3x third plus 8x third is now 11x third. 12x squared plus 12x squared gives us 24x squared. 18x plus 6x is 24x, and 9 is 9. Final answer, same as before, just a different way of doing it. Multiplication problem is a little bit more complicated, and I'd like to go over it with you. We have 5x to the fourth plus 3x to the third plus 4. As you can see right away, the x to the second term is missing. Okay, and so is the x term. So be it. We're multiplying this first polynomial by 3x to the second minus 2. Again, there are some missing terms here. In other words, the x, it goes from 3x to the second to the number. The missing terms would have been something with the x. No matter, we're going to go ahead and multiply. We begin by multiplying everything through by -2. So -2 times 4 is -8. -2 times 3x to the third is -6x to the third. -2 times 5x to the fourth is -10x to the fourth. As you can see, there are some spaces here because when I move to multiply everything at the top with 3x to the second, we're going to get 3 times 4, which is 12x to the second. I'm writing 12x to the second in its own little column. It doesn't go under -8, nor does it go under -6x to the third. It gets its own space. Okay, so now we're going to multiply 3x to the second times 3x to the third. We multiply the numbers, that's going to give us 9. To multiply x's, we multiply and then add the exponents. X to the second times x to the third is going to give us x to the fifth. And that's right over here, 9x to the fifth. It doesn't go under -10x to the fourth because it has a different exponent. Finally, we're going to multiply 3x to the second times 5x to the fourth. Once again, we multiply the numbers, 5 times 3, and get 15. And x to the fourth times x to the second is x to the sixth. So the final answer will be 15x to the sixth, 9x to the 5, -10x4, -6x to the third, plus 12x squared, minus 8. That's it.